Okay guys, welcome back. After some thinking, I've decided to play one mysterious game which brings very intensity, interest of me playing it and exploring. The game is called Kona. Let's start the game. Let's accomplish some good things here in this mysterious game. We are some agent, or I don't know, we're gonna see. Let's do this, and I hope you will enjoy.
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done. They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it. When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
I want to greet my friend Matt, who doesn't even know what this game is. He never heard of it. He never tried to play it. I wish him all the best. And I greet him, I greet you all guys, and I suggest Matt and others should play this game. What is this? This is creepy. These masks are really not looking good.
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track. Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself.
Manistan. It will be good. What is this? Fleer. Northern Quebec, and its inexhaustible resources. The province of Quebec sits on it. Okay. I think I don't have a time for that now. I'm gonna read that later, because I really want to explore this game as much as I can. You can pause and read. The county of Manistan and its people wish to see you very soon.
Hamilton no doubt knew who managed the barrier. Carl wanted to give him a call, but that would have been too easy though, as sure enough the line was acting up. Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations. Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
If you don't know which button you need to press with interacting the stuff here, you just press E on your keyboard and you'll be fine. It doesn't said though, but
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those folks hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people.
look at these masks. Why are they here? Are we gonna face some cannibals, Hannibals, or what? Human eaters?
Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
What? Maybe Indians? The radio acted weird. And that wasn't an Indian.
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
Kona. What is happening, guys? All of a sudden, so much snow here. Hello?
driver had taken off.
Where are
It
you?
was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help. Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters W.H. Carl thought about taking it. Nothing was to be left to chance.
Who is this? She really looks interesting. And okay, we can obviously see an image of a guy behind. That is creepy.
This deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it. The cold was burning Carl. He would not hold up much longer. He had to warm himself. Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more and was now on his way to new adventures.
Fruit, I need wood. I need wood. Oh my god. Come on, let's take the woods and that's it. Start a fire. Oh, the life is good when you have somebody warm next to you. Maybe somebody been here, you know? You cannot see a single fruit here. Oh my god. Single thing. It's all in the mist. All in the frozen snow. tire tracks. Somebody been here.
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. Carl's military training had made him a very punctual man. Being late to his meeting with Hamilton was out of the question.
Okay, so we cannot get out.
The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
The loading screen. This is from the time when Half-Life 2 had it.
milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. Something fell to the bottom of the box. Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized.
We need to make the evidences for the, I don't know, for the court and the police. Kona Cola, oh, this is great. Kona Cola. Coca-Cola Cola, yeah, this is great. But it's only Kona. Maybe if they added Coca-Cola Cola. This is maybe it's better. Kona Cola. We are talking about that while the dead man is here. Oh my god. We really getting. We forgot about him. This cola was so interesting to talk. I'm sorry. Not in the mood to drink maple syrup. Maybe Kona Cola you would like.
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service. Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him? The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
But it's on French. Come on. It's the October 1970. Latière Marcel Limité. The cows of that age. It looks nice.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside. Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see. The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? The Polaroid, Carl's long-standing and faithful ally, had seen its share of husbands caught red-handed cheating. There's always something out there waiting to be snapped away.
Oh, now we can see the footprints, okay. Of some sort of animal. Maybe wolf.
Prince? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was it a possible lead?
Okay, to open the cash register, punch the price 2 numbers minimum, press sale, turn the crank 2 times, punch the machine if it doesn't work. Okay, I need that. A lot of Canadian dollars, but we won't use that. We have a codex of honesty of agents, so know that. Only the keys, which is far more useful.
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
Well, it's supposed to be clean, yeah, but other stuff is really dirty.
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
Poor thing. What about our main protagonist? He's all alone here. What is he? He's lucky.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Okay, then we need to turn off one and turn on another.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power. Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power. Amateur hunters showing some pride at having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought. A nice picture of the Magasin Lachance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten. Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already. A radiator without power is as good as a wood stove without logs. The murder weapon.
Oh, this is nice.
What was
And
that doing there, Carl wondered.
key.
Hamilton
Okay.
must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
Letter from Hamilton. Okay, the worst is happening at this very moment. I cannot write at length, but I am requesting immediate. Okay, my phone is ringing now. Oh. From an unknown number. Oh my god. It stinks here, man. We better leave this door open. This shit needs a mirror. I'm kidding. This fruit needs a mirror. Whenever I wanna curse, you know, I'm gonna say the fruit. Or not when it's funny.
Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first.
Yeah, nothing. What is this? Wait, what is this? Really? Is this a ghost in a... Well, this is odd.
It was so cold, already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
It's a ghost or a snowflake. Oh my god, this really is weird, you know?
Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out. Carl wondered what the hell could that thing be. It looked like a man fossilized in ice. All of a sudden, Carl felt like he was pulled inside a world of dreams, a cold, unknown dimension. Somehow, self-control was slipping from his grasp. To all appearances, this was a hunting log. Better yet, a war diary. What could these engraved numbers mean? A fresh path suddenly appeared before Carl.
$739. Remember that.
Carl had that feeling you get when you immerse your frozen hands in hot water. What happened? Now at least he knew who the unfortunate man petrified in ice was. Gilles Lachance, the general store's manager himself. That had to be the worst parking job ever. Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts, or not.
Okay, so now we know his name is Gilles Lachance.
Cold turned into pain. Carl needed to find someplace warm.
Or on American English, Chance, Gillette Chance, Mach 3, for shaving for men. We're back here again. Oh, let's just warm ourselves.
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
What am I doing wrong in here? It just cannot turn back on. Of course, it was that all the time. We didn't fix it. Oh, so that explodes the generator, okay. It should be working for a while now. Okay, now if it's by this seam, electric seam, now when I press this, to turn this off and to turn this on, it should be working now. Electricity in the store. Yeah, it's working again, yeah. By this radio and this cool ass song. That's a hit on Billboard's Top 100 for years to come. Okay, everybody, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have a crowbar. Biggest news ever here in Canada.
At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
Oh, this reminds me so much of an Half-Life 2 crowbar. Too bad there isn't any similar, even tiny similar game to this, to that. Oh, watch out! It's the frosty bug. Now we just need to turn on the pump.
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gilles Lachance. Any good investigation would have to start there. Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The Seeker had sought.
Blaw's house, okay. Who is that?
A wintry atmosphere surrounded the house. The soundlessness of the area suggested it was empty.
As after all, we are the agents, and with that we need to check the house from the outside first. It's the agent's codex to check her inside from the outside.
When finding a boot, one wonders what became of the foot. When finding a boot, one wonders what became of the foot. The key, which seemed to be meant for a padlock, bore an inscription reading Cloutier et Fils. A company name. Better keep an eye open. Businesses weren't exactly numerous around these parts. Money in a jar. What a shame. Carl would have loved cookies.
Oh, he's that honest and decent, I mean, fair. Well, that's how the agents are. Don't be surprised. Oh, the famous hockey player in the famous sport of Canada. And the same song again. This is like endless track. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You really have something in your fridge. Let's see. Oh yeah, the beer and the steak. Something with which you cannot live.
The spirograph amused Carl. It was a nice modern toy, aside from being repetitive by nature and completely useless. Still, it found its way into many Quebecois homes.
Okay, now we for sure now know two things. They have a kid, and one of the family members have a gambling problems. Le monstre. Le monstre. Wolves and This really looks like the Slender Man something with blue eyes. Oh. Those faces, guys. Are those the developers?
A window left open in that weather? Perhaps something had to be watched.
Maybe the monster.
A window left open in that weather? Perhaps something had to be watched.
Louise's diary. A wolf. Can we attack him with a crowbar? Or is it when you need it? He even closed the door. What a polite wolf. He really has, even after his animal instincts, he still have a decent manners of cultural Canada spirit. Painkiller, okay. A bit of reading to pass the time. Yeah. Well, I don't like to do that. This game is great, guys. Simply great. The atmosphere, everything is so far amazing. But that face of that wolf though, epic. Okay, we found a note from Martin Blaze. He was in a hurry. He had to leave North Manistan with Mom and Mr. Roy. Mr. Roy. As they say, it's far too dangerous around here these days. Okay guys, I'm gonna end it here with this epic song. I hope you enjoyed. What mysteries we're gonna reveal in the next episode. Find out and stay tuned for more. Peace, God bless you, and take care of yourself. If you are in a storm, always take a blanket and a pair of matches with some fire to be able to create. And you should be fine. Peace.